Are you struggling trying to find a profitable strategy, one in which you consistently can make money in the markets each day? Now, we know that trading is an art. And how do we master, this business so that we can perfect it so each and every day we can come into the markets and make money? Today, let's talk about how to master the art of trading so that we can become better at what we do. The thing is being able to look at a broader perspective to understand first and foremost, what is it that you see going on your charts? The charts don't lie. You ever heard, the saying, numbers don't lie? The same thing, the same principle, the same concept, the idea. We just have to visually look at our charts, and I love to scale down, meaning basically using multiple charts, I should say, and looking for areas of confluence. The more confluence you have in your trading, the more successful or more the higher the probability is that the trade is going to work out in your favor. Let's put it like that. So let me show you a simple strategy, one that I use each and every day in my own personal trading. And it all boils down to identifying the overall direction of the market, marking up either a supply or demand zone, because that's how I trade, and looking for the market to retrace back to those zones that I've marked up, those supply and demand zones that I've marked up off of my higher base charts in a sense. And then when the market gets back to those areas or zones on the charts, looking for rejection and confirmation. So I'm just going to go through this strategy real quick and show you a key example of how I do it each and every day, okay? And if you're someone that's new to watching one of the videos here on this channel, I have tons of trading videos here on the channel where I, have live recorded trading sessions to where I'm trading, and you can see me taking trades at key levels, or key zones, supply and demand. Now, I'm a scalper, and that's what I do. I use a specific strategy to scalp, whether it's the ES or the NASDAQ, or, those are primarily my two go-to markets each and every day. But it doesn't matter because supply and demand trading or scalping it is universal. So you could trade some means of future currencies or the financials or a means of a commodity asset. So it doesn't really matter. You can simply take this strategy and make it work for you. So let me show you, because we want to start off by looking at a higher base chart. And I always, I'm either looking at my 60 range or 120 range. Yes, I said range charts because that's the chart style or the type of charts I trade. I don't trade time or tick or volume. And if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to find your preference of what type of charts you love trading. Now, please don't ask me the question what charts as far as range charts are comparable to time-based. I don't know, okay, because I haven't spent time spent time researching, and I'm not going to do that because, I don't want to take away from what I need to do, and what I'm focusing on is trading range charts. All right. This is what I love to do. The reason why I will say this is because they're just cleaner to the eye to me. Now, if you're used to trading time base or tick or volume, then stick with it. I always talk about once you find consistency, stick with it. Now, I like to start off with my higher base chart, like 120 range or 60 range. But I like to look at, say, for example, 120 range chart. And yeah, I know that, many months back I wasn't showing 120 range, but the markets are always changing. So you have to kind of adapt as well. So this just kind of gives me a broader perspective. You can still do it with the 60 range chart. I just like to look at it and see globally, what direction are we moving in? And to me, we're still moving to the upside. We're still bullish, and you can see it here. This was just a deep retracement. That's all it was. All right. And, it could have retraced all the way back down to this key area right here at 480, 18,480, and rejected that area and moved higher. And it possibly could, but still, we're bullish. If you look at like maybe a lower time frame or lower base, I shouldn't say time frame, but lower base charts, you might be thinking that, hey, the market looks bearish, and that could happen. Higher base charts are sometimes they're not going to be in sync with the lower base charts. But what you want to do is to get them all aligned. Get them all to where they're setting themselves up and moving with the higher base chart and taking your trades in the direction. And that's what I want to show you today. And this is what I like to do in trading. Do I counter trend trade? Yes, I do. But we're not talking about that. I'm not going to go into detail about that because a lot of people that watch this channel are beginner traders or new traders as well. And I trade supply and demand, and that's probably another reason why you are here. So this is a scalping strategy that you can use in your own personal trading. If you look to see what's going on in the market, as long as it's making higher highs and higher lows, always be looking for opportunities to go long. We're at key areas of demand. Now, I'm not saying you have to mark your zones right off of the highest base chart you use. What you want to have or use some means of a higher time frame or higher base chart just to let you know what is the sentiment, what should be my bias coming into the market. For me, bullish, long opportunities, okay, until it starts to break through some area of major structure back to the downside. But right now it hasn't done that, so I'm interested in taking long positions. So, the last several days, the 10th, the 12th, 14th, 15th, 16th, we were breaking to the upside, continuously breaking structure. We broke above this area here at 18,003, let's say 348, 349, pushes up, pulls back, break structure again here at 543, and this keeps moving to the upside. So I'm bullish, okay? And this is just a deeper tracement if we look at the higher base chart. Now, if I move down to my 60 range chart, then, okay, it looks a little different here to where I'm seeing in that same period, 15th to the 16th, when the market starts to break down, it's actually breaking through some area structure to the downside. But the higher base chart is telling me we are still bullish. This is where people start to mess up because they start to counter trend trade against the overall grain of the market. Look at your higher base chart and try to trade with that market. Now, what I want to show you, because this is what the video is about. As long as we're bullish, look for opportunities to trade going long. So on my 120 range chart, we're bullish. Okay, the market is breaking to the upside. Now, I like to mark my zones off of my 60 range chart. The same area you see, go back to the 120 range right here. Okay, in this area right here, 15th to the 16th, you see it right here on my 60 range. So if I squeeze this together, you'll see that we're breaking structure to the upside. All right. So what happens here is that once I move down to my 60 range chart, all I want to do is I like to mark my zones again from my 60 range chart. This is a beautiful area of demand resting right here. Now, part of the strategy, one of the biggest components, I have to see and I must see a break of structure to the upside. So on the 60 range chart right here, I get a break to the upside right here. A bullish, okay, movement with lots of buy-in to the upside right here. And also there's a gap resting back at the zone. I talk about the gaps across so many videos here, so please spend some time, get a pen and pad, and take notes. But this is the rundown, what I'm talking about the scalping strategy when it comes to trading supply and demand. So the market moves to the upside. We have a gap back at the zone. It's not tested 100%. There's a small gap inside the zone. When the market pulls back to the zone right here on my 60 range chart, I've already marked it on my 60 range. We're bullish on the 120. Mark the zone on the 60. It comes back to it. Now, I'm not taking the trade off the 60 range chart because there could be a lot of movement or activity in this small area right here, which could be 10, 20 points. And you really want to get into a more of a precise entry point and narrow things down. This is where I'll scale down to either my 24 range or a 12 range chart to look for a better opportunity as far as an entry point. All right, but before we move down to the 24 range, just for example, I like to always, make this zone and put it across all charts so we can see it. And you're going to see this zone right here is going to show up on the 24 when I move down to my 24 range. So we're moving down now to the 24 range. Okay, here it is right here. Now, what a lot of people like to do is, and I talk about confluence, is doing multiple markups across multiple charts. So we got a 60 range demand zone here. And then when the market retraces back to it, because that's what we're looking for the market to do now, is a pull back to that key area of demand, okay, where there was a lot of buying opportunity or a lot of buying that took place on the 60 range chart. Now, when it pulls back here to the 60 range area of demand here, now we're in the 24 range chart. You also can see where there is a confluence area of demand resting inside the 60 range zone. A lot of people that are part of the community, I talk about confluence, marking up multiple areas of either a demand or supply zone. In this case here, we have demand, okay? So there's actually a 24 range demand zone resting inside the 60 range, what kind of gives us more confluence. Remember I talk about the more confluence you have, the higher the probability or chances of a trade. Now, What I like to do a lot of times is when the market pulls back to my actual higher base zone, my 60 range chart zone. So we're bullish on the 120. Sentiment is going long. We are bullish on the 60 range, and I mark my demand zone. It pulls back to it. It taps into it, all right, on the 60 range chart. But I also notice on the 24, it's tapped into it as well. Once it taps into it when I move down to my 24 now, or a 12 range, doesn't really matter, depends on, but I like to scale down and not take my trades off of a 60 or 120 or a higher base chart. But once it moves down to a lower base chart, I like to see where the market is breaking structure, okay, on the lower base chart to the upside, and then look for a pullback to go long, all right? So as I can see here, is that the market starts to make these small little higher highs and higher lows, and it's actually breaking structure when it breaks above here at 688, when it breaks above here at 696, and these areas above here, these small areas above here. So as it moving higher, it's making small little higher highs and higher lows and breaking structure, taking out areas to the upside. Now, at that point, once I see the market on my lower base chart starting to break through areas of structure, then I just simply mark a demand zone, okay? Now, you can trade this zone right here because you do have multiple chart confluence across multiple charts, or you can look for the break of structure, which gives you more confirmation in a sense, because it really tells me that, all right, it's tapped into the 60 range zone, it's rejecting it because it's breaking structure to the upside, and now I can look for a demand zone on the 24 range for the pullback to. This would be my area of demand right here. When it pulls back to that zone right there and I get the break and close of a candle in the opposite direction, meaning all I'm looking for is a break to the, when the market's pulled back to the zone, the 24 range, the last bearish candle to the downside, and then the break above. So maybe right here, the break of a candle in the opposite direction. So we have a bearish red candle, a bullish candle to the upside that breaks the previous bearish candle as it's pushing higher. So we got two momentum bullish candles here. At 684, I'm going long right there. And if I go back to my 60 range chart, what am I going to be aiming for? I'm going to be aiming for the tops up here, for the highs running right here, okay? So we're talking about taking the trade all the way back up around 740. And if you look at what happened on the 24 range chart, it does exactly that. It goes all the way up there, breaks through the high of this swing right here. This is the swing high. So when it does that, what does it do? It broke structure back to the upside as it broke above 740. So this is what I do each and every day. I like to, again, use my higher base chart. This is how I master the art of trading supply and demand. Basically looking for scalping opportunities, all right, at either a supply or demand zone. But first, I want to see and determine what direction we're moving in. Secondly, I have to mark up either a demand or supply zone off of a higher base chart. Then I wait for it to pull back to it on whatever chart it may be, my 60 range chart. Once it taps into it, then I move down and scale down to a lower base chart to get into a more precise entry point, okay? That's what the lower base chart does for you. Once you've marked up your zone with the higher base chart, it gets you into a more precise, narrowed entry point so that you don't have all that play in between, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. So again, if you're looking for an effective strategy to be able to possibly use in your own trading, if maybe you're trying to find something that works for you. If you have something that works, then stick with it. But this is a very good strategy. We have individuals that are part of our Discord community that have spent time to educate themselves. And I'm not a mentor. I don't claim to be an educator as well, guys. So I don't even know people like to classify me as that. I'm just sharing my experience in the way that I trade because I want to see other people, become profitable and consistent on a daily basis. Because I truly believe you should be green each day, and you could do so by, first of all, finding a strategy that works. Case in being, this right here. But you have to understand and be able to see the setups. You have to be able to trade in the direction of the overall, whatever the market's doing. It's bullish, go long. If it's bearish, go short. Meaning trading in the direction of the higher base charts, first, again, to depicting what the direction is, and using a strategy, whatever it may be, like case in point here, this strategy here where I'm using trading supply and demand and using multiple confluence across multiple charts and finding zones. Simple strategy if you break it down from chart to chart. All right. Again, we have traders that are part of our Discord community that have educated themselves by simply spending time watching the videos here on this channel. I don't have a mentorship program. I don't have a trading course or a training program. I provide what this information basically for free. I'm putting it out here, and because I've always believed wholeheartedly, if you have or know something, why not share it with people? Because people are there's tons of people out there that are interested in learning similar to or the same thing and based around the information you may know. And if you share it, it helps them. So that's what I'm about, trying to help other people in the long term. Okay. So if you want to really learn the strategy, spend time watching the videos. Okay, that's really all you have to do. And if you don't believe me, you can ask some of our Discord members. Okay, we have people that are passing evaluations all the time, and they've always send me a message saying, hey Mike, I thank you so much for dropping or making all this video content. It has taken my trading to another level, and lots of people have passed their evaluations and are profitable, making money. So, and if you're not part of the Discord, you may want to join the Discord community. The link is down in the description portion of the video, so find that link, invite yourself in. It's free of charge. Come over and join us. I post trading entries almost on pretty much daily in reference to or in regards to the trades that I take. So I take screenshots and I post them on there. Now, again, I don't have a mentorship or a training course, but I do have, which a lot of people, lots of individuals that are part of our community have signed up for, and it's the Elite Channel Membership Program, or Elite Membership Program. It's through YouTube. It's a tier-based program, and lots of you are probably already know about the membership programs through YouTube, maybe watching or seeing someone else's channel, whatever the case is. But here on my channel, I have two tiers: a loyal channel supporter tier and the Elite channel supporter or Elite channel member tier. The Elite channel member tier gives you the trade breakdowns as well as the video playlist of videos that I've hand selected that I feel are and cover the most important information surrounding how I trade, the strategy, as well as, I'm dropping other little videos here and there. I did one a few weeks ago covering market structure. So it's only $6.99 a month. I have tons of trade breakdown videos on there to where I'll walk you through my trades in detail. So it's as if you're kind of like sitting right next to me and I'm explaining my trades and why I took them, stop loss placement, where to take profit at, to cover the supply and demand. So if you're interested in becoming an Elite member today, right below the Discord link in the description, you'll see a link there. Click on it. 2 tiers will pop up. Make sure to choose the one that says Elite Channel Supporter or Elite Channel Member for $6.99 a month. That's it. Okay. Outside of that, guys, that's all I have for you today. I know I keep talking about this strategy because it works, and it's effective if you know what you're doing and how to use it, the right way. But if you're not a current subscriber, please take the time to click on the sub button that you see on your screen. Subscribe to the channel. It's free, okay? And the video content and videos that I do drop, you will get them pretty much on a daily basis, because I pretty much make content every single day because I want to push people along, because I want to see them become profitable just as well. But the videos that I create here, for all case and purposes, they are educational. But, if you spend time, and you don't have a strategy, give it some time to see it through, okay? Back test and forward test. You're only going to gain the real experience by actually getting into the markets, whether it's demo or simulation, and testing the strategy out fully, all right? So subscribe today, all right? Outside of that, that's all I have for you guys. And again, if you want to become a Discord member, the link is down below. And if you love the content, you found value in the content in today's video, please drop a like on the video. I'll see everyone in the next one.